It's Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity, and this is your grand reveal of sorts. Many of you will recognize where I'm standing. We're back in Pasadena, and we came up to do some tweaking and some smoke and mirrors and a few little add-ons to this already incredible garden. We put this in, phase one was back in August of 2025. It's now May of 2026, so it's been about 9 months. And you can see, where Hannah's at now, that this little bed is absolutely thriving. And I love the combos that we chose. And you might want to take note of these if you're interested in some succulent combos for your own garden. We've got the Petalanthus macrocarpa, which is a great choice. It's a cousin of the Bracteus, but it's a little more diminutive. So if you've got a slightly smaller space, this could be the answer for a vertical or upright plant. Now these will get big, don't be fooled, and they do spread, not aggressively or invasively, but it's not going to stay little and cute like this forever, but it does present in a more diminutive way. Then, of course, the millii. Euphorbia millii. I love this plant because it blooms almost 12 months out of the year. But in some of the installations where I put it in, it doesn't thrive. And so I usually don't use a lot of them initially until I'm sure they're going to be okay. And these millii love Pasadena. So I brought more this time and added more. Yeah, we've got three different varieties here. We added a couple of more this time around. We also have in here the Crassula undulata, which I go on and on about that all the time. This is my absolute solution for a hedge, if you're looking for a succulent hedge. And then another one that I love, but it can be a little persnickety, is the Mangave Bad Hair Day. We got a peanut gallery back there, but that's absolutely awesome. I love it. So again, thriving, loving it. Then we've got the Crassula ovata. This is the variegated Argentea. So this one will give us some yellow. Yeah, you can see here. So yeah, this is a great solution, great presentation for a small flower bed. And then just a little Senecio Maldronesque and some Echeveria Harmsii. So once you get your foundations in, which in this case would be the Petalanthus, the Crassula, the millii, the Bad Hair Day, I start there. I put in my I put in my clumps, and then I kind of fill in with the smaller, 1 gallon filler kind of plants. All right, I'm sorry, that just turned into a tip, didn't it? Okay, so when we were, do not ask me about plants because I will tell you. What did we do when we were here this time? Well, one thing that's really hilarious, this client wasn't a huge fan of the chamois beige gravel. She said it looked like cat litter, which absolutely cracked me up. And I can see her point. I can see where she might think that. So we did supplement the tapestries in 4 different areas, added a couple more, but I thought, well, obviously I can't, go stem to stern with plants. So these cute little river rocks, we had some left over because another thing we did was add some ground cover in between the pathway stones. So I repurposed these river rock up into the landscape, and I layered them attractively on top of the chamois beige. I also brought in more of the jade chips, which our client loves the blue. So I packed in more of the blue rock, and I had some little La Paz. This is a little black, almost a Creva pebble. So I sprinkled in some La Paz, and then Jackson Pollocked it by adding some polished jade pebbles, which really softened it. It's amazing. So another encouragement I have for you is to mess around with changing up your rock and layering and adding things. This I'm so stoked about. This is Ruchia Carpet of Stars. And I have heard about this plant for a while, and it's kind of been percolating in the back of my brain. And this was the perfect opportunity to use it because our client wasn't loving, you can see the pebbles. We still have the river rock over here because I didn't go totally ham on the application because this stuff is expensive and I wanted to be sure it was going to work. So what we did, all the way down the middle, is we pulled off all of the river rock and we installed micro drip irrigation, and then we packed in the plugs of this ruchia all the way down. And obviously, you know, foot traffic. We got people walking back to the pool. We've got dogs. There, you know, there's stuff going on. So just want to make sure this is going to work. And if it does, then we are going to come back and finish the rest of all of the paver area with the ruchia. Oh yes, and our fruit trees were struggle bussing hard. We put these in back in August, and the idea was that, you know, the clients would hand water, but they travel a lot, and it just, the consistency just wasn't there. So when we came back up to do phase 2, which is the front, and we'll get to that, we added drip irrigation. But it wasn't enough drip irrigation. They were still struggling. So when we came up this time, we added more ports. So now we are doubling down on the water, and hopefully that will do it. These trees, I think they deserve a medal because they have been circling the drain for so long, but they refuse to die. And with just the right amount of love and care, they just completely bounced back. So God bless. All right. We added a little more plant material in here. In phase 1, this was pretty much just some scattered cactus, but our client loved the idea of softening this up. So we just, you know, did a little swath of color right here. Yeah, and we brought in the aloe vera fish, which I love. And I'm so thrilled with how the cactus are doing in this garden. Oh my gosh, they are perfection. You'll have to notice the blue Pilosoceras, the spiralis, all my mammalarias, Gersonii, all of them are just thriving. Loving this too, Athona capensis. Now, you're probably saying, well, Laura, maybe your fruit trees are struggling because of the competition with the other plants. Yeah, okay, I'll give it to you maybe, but I honestly, I really don't think that that's an issue. I have my own fruit trees and succulents in with them, and it's a non-issue. So, but I love this combination of the cotyledon and the Athona. It's just, oh look, Hannah, it's starting to bloom. Oh my God, so adorable. Okay, and then this is where I went pretty hard. Oh no, we didn't blow off this rock. Oh no. But this initially was a Mission to Mars, the Bainzii, and the barrel cactus. That was kind of it. And over the last 2 phases, I've really pumped this up. So we added a lot more tapestry in here. Oh, I'm in it. Okay. We added a lot more tapestry in here, threw down some jade chunks, added more rock, and, you know, just really blew this out. Because this is very focal, again, as they walk back to the pool. They're looking at this. Then over here, we added another little tapestry next to the fruit tree because the client felt like the pathways were a little wide. So I threw down some soil, added a little tapestry, then had my guys come in and irrigate it, and then top dressed over it. Another thing I want to point out here in Pasadena is how well the echeverias are doing. Holy crap. Down in San Diego, I have a shelf life on these of maybe 3 to 6 months, and then they start to look, you know, ugly. But all of the echies in this yard are absolutely thriving. It just makes me so, so happy. Our client also loved the idea of adding some colorful pots on the fountain here. So there's a really cute little nursery called Lincoln Avenue Nursery down the street from the house, and we bought quite a few pots and additional plants there to, again, kind of add a little more pop and color in this garden. Yeah, so, also Greg added some lights, some little tiny spots inside some of the crevices of these pot rocks. So our client loves his lights. And we're always, when we're up here, thinking, where can we add more lights? So any one of these pot rocks that had a hole in it, Greg stuck a little light in there. And at night, they are super cute. Okay, so that's about it for the front, or for the back. Let's go take a look at the front. So this little area here we neglected in the initial couple of phases, but it's really important. This is where they park their car and plug their cars in, and it's super focal. And this does get some really nice sunshine in the later afternoon. So again, just decided to pump this up with a little tapestry.
What do we do to the lawn?
Yes, we were very, very concerned about the state of their lawn. It was pretty tragic. So we came in and we aerated. We were going to power rake it, but there wasn't really any thatch. There's no Bermuda in this lawn. There's a lot of clover, a lot of patchiness, but mainly it was just tired. So we aerated, we overseeded, and we put down some nutritious topper. And then we're cranking up the irrigation a bit until it starts to seed. But we really want to keep the lawn. It's such a small lawn, and they have dogs, so it's used, and we want to keep it looking as good as possible. Check out the rose garden too. I added a couple of new rose varieties in here, and this is so Pasadena, isn't it? So it's like business in the front, party in the back, but we didn't really want to disrupt all of the beauty in this front yard. Phase 2, and we will wind up this hose. We added this succulent tapestry over here on this side, which was pretty much a nothing burger. And, you know, they were like, not sure, is that going to work? And it does. It's so, so pretty. And it looks beautiful. And it's very, very visible from the porch and from the house as well. We also did gutters in phase 1, you may remember. And they were so taken with the gutters that they said, more, more, more. So now we have added gutters to be enjoyed and seen from every window in the house. And you can see that these gutters right now, it's morning time and they are in the shade, but you can see the sun hitting those ones down the fence. In the afternoon, these will be blown up in much the same way. So I'm confident that they're going to be getting plenty of light. You can see these plants in here that we put in last year are thriving, and we get plenty of bright light and some sunshine. Greg is installing more lights. They wanted some lights to shine up on the gutters to enjoy in the night time. So yeah, I mean, we added more pots to the front porch and fed everything and watered everything. This is a garden where we will have maintenance regularly because we do have so much going on. So this will be a fun one to check in on with you, and I'm sure that for many of you this is a favorite because it sure is one of mine. This has been Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity in Pasadena with your grand reveal. Bye guys!